Hey everyone, it's Alyssa. If you haven't seen any of my videos yet, I'm a singer-songwriter. I've been writing songs since I was about 3 years old, and I've been getting a lot of messages lately asking for advice on how to write songs. So I thought it would be a good idea to make a tutorial for all of you who are interested in writing songs so you can see how I go about writing them. So anyway, all you'll really need to get started is a notebook. Here's mine. I take it with me pretty much everywhere because you never know when you're going to get inspired. I also keep my phone with me so that I can record something on it. It has a voice recorder. You can just sing it into the phone if you think of something. So, I'm going to be referencing a song I wrote called In This Life of Mine quite a bit during this video. So it would be a good idea, if you haven't heard it yet, to stop by my channel now before you watch the rest of this and listen to that song really quick so that you know what I'm talking about. Also, the lyrics are posted in the information about the video if you click on more info on the side. So if you haven't seen that, go watch it, and I'll see you back here in a few minutes. Okay, so now you're ready to get started writing a song. The best time to write a song is probably when you're feeling really emotional, whether it be a good emotion, a bad emotion, if you're really happy or sad, because songs are all about feelings and emotions. That's the most important part. So if you're not feeling anything, it's going to be kind of hard to write a song. So anyway, how I like to start out when something doesn't just come to me, I just make a list about things about how I'm feeling. I just jot down little phrases and I figure out how I'm feeling, and then I ask myself questions about the feeling. Some ideas of questions are like, why do you feel this way? How long have you felt this way? Do you like feeling this way? Stuff like that. Get more creative, and just whatever comes to mind while you're thinking about your situation and everything that you're feeling. If you're having trouble figuring out exactly how you feel, then just jot down like a journal entry about what's going on in your life and then read it back to yourself, and you might figure out how you feel better. I did this with my song In This Life of Mine because I was thinking, well, I was really upset that day and I was thinking about exactly how I felt, and I was really sad and let down, but at the same time I was really reflective on the rest of my life and what had happened so far in my life, and I was very determined to get through the hard time that I was going through. So I wrote the song to kind of help me through. That's how I came up with the opening stanza, if this would be my final breath, would I look back to find regret? Have I wasted too much time here in this life of mine? It was just me thinking about what had happened in my life so far and what I wanted to happen next. So once you have some ideas jotted down about what you're feeling, you're going to move on to the next step, which is starting to put your lines together. Once you have a few good lines down, start trying to put them together in new ways, rearrange things so that everything flows well. You certainly don't have to have enough information yet to write a whole song, not even a whole verse for that matter, or chorus. You might, it might come to you really easily, but if you just have a few lines, you can start with that. Just experiment with new ways of arranging things until you get a really good flow of things. You don't want it to sound choppy. And I like to write the melody as I go with the lyrics. I know some people like to come up with like a poem and then add pitches to it and a melody, but I like to do this as I go, just to make sure that everything flows really well. So what I do is once I get a couple lines and you can say them really well, like flowing, and it all like stays together really well and you like it, then try to say it really expressively. So again, with the first two lines of In This Life of Mine, they were, if this would be my final breath, would I look back to find regret? Just saying it like that sounds a lot like how I end up singing it in the song. So once you say it a few times, and you get down what kind of rhythm and what's accented in it, then you can start trying to add pitches and experimenting with that. You don't do anything elaborate for your melody, at least in most cases. It should just be really natural. So don't try to get too fancy, because then it just will start to not make sense and not flow well. If things are going well at this point, then you should be getting pretty good at least part of a song. If not, then don't worry, just keep your notes and maybe stop for the day. You don't want to force anything, it just won't sound as good. And wait till the day when you're just feeling it more, you're feeling a little bit more emotion. But if you're doing well and everything is going well and you're liking what you have so far, then you're going to continue to kind of put the finishing touches on your song or part of a song. Just make sure you're not afraid to experiment and rearrange things a bit. You can switch around entire verses. I've found that sometimes I'll write a song and then I'll realize the second verse would work better as the first verse. Maybe I decide the chorus should be a verse and a verse should be the chorus. You could do anything that you want. You can switch around parts, just little lines, anything really. Make sure that each section of your song will flow together well though. You don't want it to sound like a bunch of different songs thrown together. Make sure that it all transitions. Also, you could do this with musical transitions once you add music if you decide to. So don't worry too much about that if you're going to add music. So that's the general process that I use to write songs. Of course, don't follow that exactly. Whenever you think of something, write it down. That's most important. A lot of times you'll find things come naturally. You'll just think of songs, especially as you get more practice. Sometimes I'll just be sitting around, all of a sudden a song will pop in my head and I'll write it down. And that'll happen more and more as you practice and get more experience. So if you're having trouble at first, just keep trying. Make sure you're writing every day, even if it's not songs, just write journal entries so you can go back to them and it'll make you think about things later in life. And it's just really good to have a record of everything that you've been feeling. A good time to write songs is like in the shower and stuff. Singing in the shower is definitely the best time to write songs. I know that sounds a little weird, but you're kind of just not thinking about much else, and sometimes they'll just come to you. Also, in school, I write a lot of songs after I finish tests. Just when you're doing mindless things, just make sure you sing a lot. Just sing random things, and you never know what'll happen. Make sure that your songs aren't too specific. You don't want to be too specific to your exact situation. You want to be specific about how you feel more than exactly what's going on, because the more general you are, the more people are going to be able to relate. But don't be too general, because then it's not going to be as powerful of a message. You want to make sure that the song is really, really meaningful to you, because if it's not meaningful to you, then how is it going to be meaningful to other people? Another really good thing to do is to analyze other songs you like, songs you don't like. Listen to a wide variety of music and figure out what you like and don't like about the songs so that you can use what you figure out in your own songs. So anyway, those are pretty much all the tips I have for you right now. I hope that it helped some. If you have any other questions, feel free to message me. Also, if you write song lyrics and you want me to read them over and give you some tips for your songs specifically, then just message me with them. Or even better, because it's really hard to tell if they're good without hearing the melody with it, or at least hearing them spoken. If you record them, either yourself singing them or speaking them, and you post it as a video response to this video, I'll be sure to watch, and I'll give you as much advice as I can. So good luck, and I can't wait to hear the songs you guys come up with.